What is going on, everybody? This is Michael from MTG Anarchy, where we take a look into the world of Magic the Gathering and throw a little bit of mischief and chaos into the mix. How is everybody doing today? Today is the 11th of August of 2020, and today I'm going to finally release the video on if Double Masters is worth it or not. Now, before we actually jump into that topic of discussion, if you haven't done so, or this is your first time on the channel, I would personally appreciate it if you could go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can keep up to date with any new videos that do come out here on the channel of MTG Anarchy. Honestly, I know I've been hit and miss when it comes to releases of videos where they've been sporadic, but ultimately I do want to go ahead and make sure that if you guys want to catch more videos of mine in general, that you have an option to do so. So please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can keep up to date with any of those new videos. But with that said, let's just jump right into our topic of discussion for today: Double Masters and if it is worth it. Double Masters is a very unique and interesting product in itself, not only with the regular version of the product, but also with the VIP version. When it comes to Double Masters in itself, there's been a lot of issues with the product, a lot of rumors and falsifications and stuff like that that have been going on with this product in itself, just a lot of issues in general. And ultimately, when it comes down to this product, there's a lot of things to really discuss about it. But before we jump into is this product worth it or not, let's just talk about what a Masters product is and how I feel about Masters products in general. And these are all based off of my own personal opinion. If you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments down below what your guys' opinions are when it comes to Masters products. But when it comes to Masters products, in my opinion, first thing that I look at is that the Masters product is a full reprinted product. There's no newly sought after cards. These are all reprinted cards that are put into this product. Not only that, when it comes down to this specific product, this product itself was meant for individuals to get into older formats or for individuals to have cards for older formats. For example, Legacy, Vintage, Modern, Pauper, Commander, a lot of older formats. This set isn't necessarily for things that are within a standardized product, like for example, Core 2021 or Ikoria or anything like that. Those sets are for standard. Modern Horizons or Double Masters is meant for individuals for older format. Now, a Masters product in itself should be a gateway for individuals to get into these older formats, to have these cards to play with in these older formats. And that is one thing that we need to go ahead and differentiate. These master products are supposed to be for these types of individuals that want to get into these formats, that wants to get into Pauper or Modern or Legacy or Vintage or Commander or any of these older formats. Again, that's what this product was meant for. And within this sort of mindset, this product is also something that is draftable. So for individuals that want to get into these older sort of formats, Masters products in general had this sort of draftable experience, which allowed individuals to really play with these older cards, but with a newer sort of art, or the old art or a newer looking art in general, and still have access to these newer sort of looks to them. Ultimately, in that sort of aspect, with those sorts of thoughts in mind, we also have the collectability aspect in terms of a Masters product, where there's a lot of old, really good cards that would be broken in standard and broken in a lot of these formats, but these formats actually need these cards. And that's where we go back to the reprintability, so Wizards can go ahead and reprint more of these cards that either there's not a lot available within the market, or the pricing has gone higher than expected for these older cards, or even at a high price point where you aren't able to really afford these older cards. Now with a Masters product, it gives you an option to get these cards at a cheaper price, helping not only you as a player out, but also the LGSs out, because they could just mass box open these up and have these out for available so they can make their money back. And with a lot of these sort of cards in general, especially with a lot of Master product cards, they do end up going back or retaining their original price points or around their original price points, unless they've been overprinted which in that case, that just destroys that type of card. Another thing to really bring up in terms of a Masters product is its price point. Now, with a Masters product, when you actually talk about and look into the price point, it shouldn't be as cheap as a standardized product, but it also shouldn't be at the price point that is not affordable for individuals of these older formats to get their hands on. Ultimately, it should have that affordability factor that, yes, this is a premium-esque product and we want to have this at a higher price point, but it shouldn't be as cheap as a standardized product. Now, also in terms of price point, this should allow individuals to go ahead and get a lot of these cards in general at a cheaper price. It should allow individuals to pick these up so they don't have to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to have these cards available to them. And that's what Masters products do. They make sure that individuals can go ahead and have these formats become affordable. So if you want to get into a Vintage or Legacy or Commander or a Modern, Pauper, any of these older formats, you can without breaking the bank, unless you want to get the super spicy hotness of cards that are available within the product. When it comes down to a Masters product, it's based off a full reprint set. It's for older formats. It can be draftable and should be draftable so individuals can get into these older formats. It should have a good sort of collectability aspect, especially with the cards within the product in itself, and the price point in itself shouldn't be as cheap as a standardized product, but shouldn't be too out there so individuals cannot afford to get into these older formats. That said, let's get into the mess that I like to call Double Masters. Double Masters is something that was thrown out of left field and ultimately got into a strike zone that was meant for individuals that could afford this product. And I'm not joking on that. Basically, Mark Rosewater from Wizards of the Coast has come out and said that this product is for those that can afford it. If you cannot afford this product, you shouldn't be able to get your hands on this product. In those sorts of terms, that's not the exact sort of wording, but again, don't quote me on that. And of course, when it comes down to a product such as Double Masters, this product itself should be for individuals that can actually get their hands on the cards, that if they like to spend a little bit more money, they can go ahead and pick up this product. They could go ahead and get a box or so, or a couple boxes, or be able to go ahead and have that access. But when Wizards of the Coast comes out and specifically says, if you cannot afford this product is not for you, there are a lot of issues with that. There's a lot of issues with a company and an individual within the company stating that information. Ultimately, it will rub people the wrong way, and it has. Then within Double Masters itself, we find out, before Mark Rosewater makes the statement, that this product, first off, is not going to contain any sort of fetch lands. Fetch lands are going to be in another product. Hopefully that's Commander Legends, but the fetch lands are going to be in there. And not only that, the prices that we saw that were announced for this product were going to be around $300. And not only this, they were also going to come out with a supplementary product called the VIP boosters. Now, if you haven't necessarily seen what the VIP boosters are, I've already talked about it. I've already given my opinion on if that product is worth it or not. It's not. But the point that I'm trying to say was that they were charging individuals for a box of Double Masters $300 out the gate and $100 for the VIP boosters, which, again, that blew everybody's expectations out of the water to the point where it was in a bad regard. Because ultimately, individuals were like, you're pricing a pack of cards, 35 cards, for $100, and you're raising the price again within a Masters product within a year that people are going through hardships and everything like that at a higher price point. For those individuals that want to actually get this product, they would have to decide, do I want to go ahead and spend $300 on this, or do I want to go ahead and pay some bills or live? And that's where Wizards of the Coast made their first mistake. Then there were more issues with the product in itself. For example, how instead of them including the 40 rares and mythics as box toppers, as they did for Ultimate Masters, which again was a really good product in general, they decided to put 2 box toppers in, which is fine. That's great, in the boxes, in the normal boxes, which is amazing. That's fine. But they forgot to say anything until everybody has pre-ordered this, that the box toppers in themselves also had 8 upshifted commons and uncommons to rares. Now, I will say these upshifted commons and uncommons, we should have noticed this a mile away, especially when it came to Core 2021, when they did this sort of antics. But of course, nobody really took notice of that until we started seeing and hearing the sort of information from Wizards of the Coast. And ultimately, that just even caused a worse taste in your mouth. Another thing that when we look at Double Masters, apart from the rumors, in general, was the actual price point. The price points of this product was around $300. That's what initially people put their money and their value in general. When it came down the line, they're now priced between $330 to $350, if not higher, for this product. And that even rubs more people the wrong way. That puts more emphasis on greed over the play of the game, the aspects of playing of the game. But in terms of pricing and everything like that, we'll get into all that sort of stuff later. I do want to go ahead and talk about if this product in itself is worth it. I want to actually let individuals know my opinion. Now, ultimately, I did have a sample size of my own personal box that I purchased with my own money. So ultimately, if you want to check that out, that's my last video. I'll link it in the description down below, which I felt it was a good little sample size. I've also been looking at a lot of the box openings for the regular product on YouTube and stuff like that from YouTubers opening this product. So there is that. So I'm going to be looking at it through those sorts of aspects. But let's actually talk more in depth on this product. So first off, in terms of the product within itself, let's first talk about playability. A lot of the cards within the product in itself are potentially playable. I mean, for example, you have Jace the Mind Sculptor, Mana Crypt, Force of Will, Blightsteel Colossus, Court of Calling, Exploration, Wrath of God, Expedition Map, Lightning Greaves, a lot of different sorts of cards that are used within older formats, even the Urza lands. I mean, those look sick, but even the Urza lands in themselves, they have that aspect of playability for older formats. So there were a lot of good hits within this product. There were a lot of misses as well. There were a lot of cards that had been reprinted recently. I saw a couple from mystery boosters that had been reprinted, and ultimately I just wondered, why would you put a card that you've just recently reprinted either this year or last year within the set? Now, if it's for cards specifically for playability wise, in terms of, okay, well, these sorts of formats need it, that's understandable. But when you have things like, I don't know, Frogify that was released from Throne of Eldraine, Cathartic Reunion was just reprinted recently, not only Chandra's Spellbook, but Ikoria, and it was put into this set. Which means, yes, you're gonna get your shaft in this sort of product, but why are you going to go ahead and put the shaft that has already been recently reprinted into this product? It didn't make sense to me. And ultimately, when it comes down to a lot of these older products in general, I'm thinking, why? In terms with playability, especially for a lot of these cards that have been reprinted within the set, it just seems like, yes, there were a lot of cards that were reprinted for the older sets, but then you had cards that didn't necessarily see any play within these older formats. And I think Wizards of the Coast saw this as an opportunity just to put in reprints, just to put in reprints. To me, that's a wrong way to go about it. But I would say with the playability aspect, in terms of cards that did well for older formats, I think that was a great touch. I would say for cards that didn't really see a lot of play in these older formats and they just reprinted just to reprint, I think that shouldn't have been put in there. Along with playability, we have to talk about the drafting experience, because if you're able to go ahead and draft this set, if you're able to sit down with your friends or family or group and to be able to draft this set, that is great. That is awesome, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with a lot of the cards if you're specifically looking at it in this set. However, we're living in a time that we can't get together. that's going to affect the drafting experience. You can draft this out on MTGO. You could do it that way, and it's cheaper to do so. If you're wanting to get a paper product and you're wanting to play this in a draft, it's good just to get a box and hold on to it until things calm down with the pandemic. In that sort of aspect, at least you'll be able to draft it, but currently now, you're not able to do that. That irks me the wrong way for Wizards of the Coast in terms of playability-wise to go ahead and do something like that. In terms of collectability, what I'm gonna have to say is there's a lot of collectible cards within this sort of product that people are gonna wanna get their hands on. From what I've noticed, there's a lot more rares and mythics than there are commons and uncommons. So if you're trying to collect all the commons and uncommons, you should be able to go ahead and get those pretty quickly. But in terms of a lot of the cards that they did put in that are either commons, uncommons, or even rares or mythics, you have to ask yourselves, why would they put that sort of stuff in there unless A, there hasn't been a recent reprint, B, the price point has gone higher and so we should put these in here to get that at a lower price, or C, because it's an extra card that we just want to push out. I mean, there were more rares than any other rarity. Yes, it's double masters, you should be able to get 2 rares or mythics within a pack, if not more, but keep in mind that with the amount of rares or mythics, that is something to really think about when it comes down to how many rares, how many mythics. Also, keep in mind, duplication can be pretty high in terms of these master products, especially since you have a less amount of specific sorts of cards in the commons, uncommons, and mythics, but you do have a lot of duplication in terms of rares. So keep that in mind. I don't know if they actually went ahead and shuffled it properly, but I mean, within my box, I didn't see many duplication. I've seen other people that had multiple duplication, but that's beside the point. Also, in terms of collectability, we do have to bring up the borderless box toppers. Now, in terms of the box toppers, I would say out of the 40, 8 of them are going to be your commons and uncommons. You're more likely to get those commons and uncommon box toppers than you would be as rares or mythics. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, I don't know if it's possible that you can get 2 mythics for the box toppers. Maybe it's possible. I mean, maybe people have done it and I just haven't seen it, but it's usually like 2 rares or a rare and a mythic, which again, that is misleading because ultimately they say, oh, well, you could get 2 box toppers. You could get either 2 rares or 2 mythic box toppers. You could, in the plural sort of sense, and that throws people off. And I mean, for the regular boxes, that is something, but for the VIP, no. Box topper wise, there's only 40 box toppers, and they're pricey box toppers, but based off of these, this is the only time you're really gonna get that sort of printing or sort of look, unless they come out with something in the future that does more printings of these types of box toppers. Collectability wise, there's a lot of good cards to collect, a lot of good box toppers to collect, but why they made the commons and uncommon box toppers into rares, I mean, we should have seen it when it came down to Core 2021. We should have seen it from that point. Collectability wise, you're gonna have a lot of good cards, a good amount of bad cards. Hopefully you can go ahead and get the ones you want. That leads us to the price point of this product. Price point is the biggest thing to look at in terms of this product. Individuals from LGSs and stuff like that are selling this for anywhere between $300 to $350, if not more. Ultimately, on average, you're getting a box of Double Masters for around $335. Luckily, if you have an amazing LGS that's able to go ahead and get you a box for lower, around the $300 price or even lower, that's an amazing LGS. I mean, my LGS got mine for $280 because I was on the pre-order list for it, and I put myself on the pre-order list. So they got it for me at a better discount. But for individuals, $300 to $350 is a lot of money, especially for something that is only going to increase later and later on down the road with future master products. In terms of this product, with price values, a lot of the prices for the singles in themselves have gone down. At release, people are just opening up things and they're trying to get the best price they can get for sorts of cards. So normally when you see a lot more come into the market, you're going to get a lot more of lower prices when it comes to your commons, uncommons, rares, and even mythics. All of those, right? After a while though, those prices tend to go up in value. those values end up being higher and higher than you would expect it. So if you're a single seller and you're getting this sort of product to sell, it's a great time to go ahead and pick up the singles that you want. Even as somebody who plays the game, it's a great time to actually pick up the singles when it comes from release. That said, for individuals that are wanting to just get a pack of this, you're spending $16 a pack. And it's better to get a box, but why is it that Wizards of the Coast keeps boosting up the price points of this product, especially with what's going on? I know they're wanting to try to make as much money as they can, and there's a lot more players within the game, but prices do kill the player base. If a person cannot afford something, they're not going to go ahead and buy something, and that will go ahead and lower your profit margin. It doesn't make sense to me why they have to keep upping the price point, unless they're trying to put more of these higher priced cards from the secondary market within their product, which again, they themselves say that they don't do that. They do not look at the secondary market. That shouldn't impact the prices of the boxes. But that's the thing about this. In terms of price, this is an expensive box, and you can decide if you want to get this product or not. But for me, it is way too much money. Yes, I got my box for around $280, $300 out the door with tax, but it's a lot of money for those that just want to get a booster pack. If you're gifted a booster pack and your booster pack, it comes in with a couple bulk rares, and your family member went ahead and spent $16 for you to open a booster pack that doesn't have that value back, ultimately that's a feel bad moment. In terms of this product, let's go ahead and compare this product to another product that has been widely accepted, widely well known. Mystery Boosters. Mystery Boosters wasn't only one of the best products I believe thus far Wizards of the Coast has gone ahead and released this year. It had a lot of cards that people wanted. It had a good price point that people could actually pick up not only boxes but packs and not have that feel bad moment. And the playability aspect for Mystery Boosters was an amazing sort of aspect because you're able to play with these older cards. You're able to go ahead and open these cards and have a fun draftable experience. Double Masters doesn't feel that way. In terms of Double Masters, based off everything that I've explained, everything that I've talked about, to me, if you're going to go ahead and get this product, if you're a single seller, get this product. Open the product up and sell the singles. You'll potentially get your money back if you have to increase on that price. That is what that is. But if you're just getting just a pack of Double Masters, that's more of a risk than I would bother taking. And to me, that in itself isn't worth it. Honestly, master sets are supposed to be sets to get people into these older formats at a more affordable price. Instead, Double Masters in itself has thrown all of that sort of thought process and reasoning out the window and is now trying to make you buy it at a premium in order to get to these older formats. And to me, that's just wrong. I do not approve of Wizards of the Coast doing that sort of stuff. Honestly, if you want to get this with your own money, go ahead and do so. Hopefully you can get it for a good price, but honestly, I don't feel that even with what I got and even with what I pulled, the best thing to do, get these into the singles. Don't purchase a box. Unless you're going to use it later on down the road or hold on to it. But if you're just going ahead to get a box just to get a box, then by all means, there's other things you can spend your money on if you're financially stable. If you're not financially stable, don't get this product. Honestly, I'm going to say it right now. If you're not financially stable to even afford a product like this, then I wouldn't get it. I'd invest in standard stuff. I'd invest in singles. I'd get the singles over just getting the product outright. And I think a lot of people are going to do that. In terms of this product, do I think that Double Masters is worth it? To the single sellers and to those investors that want to go ahead and collect these products, if you get a lot of them, yes. But if you're just a random player, go on to your singles market. Purchase the singles over getting boxes. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below what you think and feel when it comes down to this product of Double Masters. But thank you guys so much for taking the time and opportunity to see and watch this video. Hopefully, you've gone ahead and subscribed and hit the bell notification so you can keep up to date with any new videos that do come out here on the channel of MTG Anarchy. Hopefully you've already done that. If not, I would appreciate it if you do so. Also, I hope you could go ahead and comment down below what you thought of the video, your opinions, that sort of stuff like that, as well as like and share this video so others hear these sorts of things. And finally, if you can do so, if you're financially stable, please go and support your local game stores, your LGSs, because we need them as much as they need us. Honestly, I want to go ahead and go back to a place that I belong, and I feel like my local LGS does just that. So please, as long as you're financially stable, go ahead and support your local game stores. But with that said, this is Michael from MTG Anarchy, here with the discussion for the day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your guys' time, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks again.